This is not a mess. This is, at last we're beginning to stir, we're beginning to wake. This is accidental. I mean, this wasn't meant to be here. But the fact that it's arrived here, the fact that it's emerged here, has created such stirrings, such dreams among people who would normally just be sleepy and carry on in this system which has enslaved all of us. And now at last people are beginning to understand the level of the slavery that we've all been subjected to. We're saying no more. And when, I think it was Reverend Paul Nicholson stood here and said, we need to understand the level of the injustice that has been perpetrated, and that injustice continues. At last, priests throughout the country are beginning to say, this is right. I understand now this is right. I have to support this. I have to remain true to my calling. I have to say the difficult words and the difficult things. I can no longer be content to be compliant, to keep carrying on, bumbling along within a system which is doing so much damage. And we need to recognize, I need to understand that this is why all these tents are here, because people believe profoundly that yes, capitalism has given us some good things, but it has got to a point now where it is rotting. It is past its sell-by date. We need to dream new dreams. We need to imagine new imaginings, new ways of being, fairer, more just on both humanity and the planet. And if you like, I see this as just the beginning. A lot of the criticism here is, okay, well, what do you want? What do they want? I believe that what is necessary is the beginning of that dream, the beginning of that new imagination. And this is the seed that allows that to begin. And that to me is good enough. That to me is beautiful enough. The church has got too close to the establishment. It has, over the last 100 years, become much too close to the establishment. The Dean very much represented the establishment. Charles Fraser very much represented a much more progressive wing of the church. It is the establishment of the church which really needs to be questioned very deeply about why they are, and what they are actually doing, what they are upholding. Are they upholding the establishment, or are they upholding Christianity? I think that question became too painful for the Dean to actually answer. And so I think he did the honourable thing in going. The church is in this up to its neck. It has just spent the last 50 years trying to pretend that it hasn't been in it up to its neck. It has been pointed out over the last 2 weeks, the Bible is a book about love, yes, but it is a book about materialism versus non-materialism. Two completely different ways of life. The church, by you guys, by everyone who's here being here, the church is being asked, what do you really stand for? And it has not actually ever had to answer that question. It cannot hide. It cannot both be friend to the establishment and friend to those who are saying that what is happening in the name of the establishment is becoming incredibly toxic. And now at last, we're having to ask the big questions. You have forced us into asking the big questions. Thank God for that, at last. And there is nowhere to run now.